Okay, so part something of I got a really cool package from Rebel Tank Customs, and here is my cloak for Hornet from the game Hollow Knight Silksong. And Silksong was a fun little game. I liked Hornet quite a lot, and I figured why not just make a figure of her, because almost immediately after I saw her design, I got a really good idea for like a custom. So I am going with this Shriek body, because it's like almost completely black. I just gotta remove this part here and this part here, and I'm not even gonna bother with this because it's not gonna be seen. And then the grippy hands are from something. I have no idea where these gripping hands are from, but I already started a little bit. I filed down the shoulders. Well, I straight up just cut them off with a knife, and that is to make this cloak just be able to go down a little bit further. And my plan here is, this is the official Silksong Hornet. Well, it's not even Silksong, this is just Hollow Knight, I think, but it's the Hornet minifigure. And after heating it up with a hairdryer, the glue just kind of vaporized and I could pull the head off, and I got to here. And you see, this ball thing is way too high up, so I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm gonna drill a hole, and then I'm gonna put this joint in here, and then drill a hole into this head, and then we'll see where we are. So straight up, we can just hopefully cut off this joint here. And then we also cut off this little nub. The reason why I'm not using this bit here to attach it to the body is because, I don't know if you can see, but it's got like a little L shape, and therefore it won't be able to swivel. But this way I can measure out how much I'm gonna have to like add here. So say the piece goes like this. That is still too high, so I'm gonna have to remove more of the neck until I get to something like here. The point is that I want the head to kind of disappear into the cloak, and I don't want it to sit too high. Okay, so 2 holes drilled later, and we've gotten to here, and as you can see, the head goes on like so. She has a very, very long neck right now, but with the cloak on, it's gonna be rectified. And unfortunately, her head is obscured enough by the cloak, like kind of like I wanted, and I don't even mind like the frilliness of like this top part. However, there's something, I don't really know what it is, but I think proportion wise she looks a bit freakishly huge. I feel like if we use a smaller body, like I have the I have this like Jubilee body. I feel like if we use this instead, or something like it, the proportions are gonna like fix themselves, because it's just kind of how like elongated this entire bit is. So before I did anything with that Jubilee body, because it's like pinless and stuff, I looked in my fodder and I found this one. This is the old Spider-Gwen figure, and I'm not really ever going to use this for anything, I think. And the reason why I'm not choosing like premium parts is because this thing is going to cover up the majority of the figure. So most of her height comes from how long this section is here. I think the shoulders are a bit higher on this one too. I don't think a straight up swap would be good, but let's see if we can. Oops, how do you get this off? Like, ugh! Yeah, this comes down a little bit further as well, and I think I really like how that looks. Yeah, I think just making her a little bit more compact really helps with the look. So this is what she would look like. The joints are a little bit loose though. Maybe I should use these more solid parts. You know, I bet I'm never gonna use this Jubilee body for anything, so I'm gonna see first if... I know this neck piece is like a separate piece for some reason. I want it. Right. Also, might as well get rid of the arms while we're at it, and heating them up, they just come off like this. And female arms, for some reason, are real interchangeable, and you can just kind of like boil and pop them. Unlike guys, where you have to usually split the entire torso open, and it sucks, and it's so much work, and I don't really know why they couldn't just make it easy. Kind of like how I don't find removing this neck piece easy in the slightest. So maybe if we dig... Oh, it goes down far. Like to at least down here. So I don't really know what's going on with this part, but where is Hornet's head? It is here. So hypothetically, if we fill up this hole with glue, no, I don't like that look, but we can probably cut off the neck and boom. We need to get rid of a fair amount. First of all, do we like these proportions more? Slightly above the knees. And this is around thigh area. Yeah, I like the smaller one way more. I think we can use these arms though, because they're double jointed. Or do I save parts? This is like a budget custom. Yeah, screw it. Well, we'll start with, we'll cut off a piece of the neck. Okay, so I think these proportions are just straight up better. So we're gonna swap the arms. And yeah, we're just gonna heat them up and then force them in. And after heating them up, we just give them a nice little pull and they come out. Be careful about not putting the bicep swivel out. And then I'm not really sure if I need to heat this part up too, but I think I do, but they do fit, I can feel it. So we heated them up a little bit and in they go. There we go. No real like, are these longer than? Ah, I see. So the reason why they don't quite is because of these nubs here. You see, they stick up a little bit too far. So we're just gonna do a quick trim. So I was gonna film myself removing the paint, and I can see I didn't do that good of a job actually. So I have this magic eraser. And I don't know, you can see like the traces, like the kind of misty white left. So we're just gonna use this magic eraser and scrub the hell out of it. And boom, it's all gone. And I have to do it on this side too. Magic erasers are basically like the finest type of sandpaper you can find. And then as well, it's porous. So it actually sucks up the paint from what I understand. But yeah, much better. Down. Now we put the head on. And I wanted to keep this part here because in case I move it, I wanted to still kind of keep the red around the head. So with Hornet mostly finished now, you might notice that something is missing, and you can see it right here, her needle. After I decided to use this head and this custom-made cloak, I actually discovered that HottestFuzzCustoms had made a Hornet kit that you can order and kind of put together your own Hornet with kind of like a flexible PVC cloak and her own head sculpt and everything. But what really caught my interest there was this needle that came with it, and I messaged him, and he's a delight as always, and he allowed me to buy this needle without buying the rest of the kit. So thank you, Tyler, love you. So now we're going to there's like a little bit of a 3D printing mishap here, so I'm gonna put some plastic putty in here. And then we're gonna sand it smooth, and I'm also going to... So the needle is pretty cool. It comes in 2 pieces like so, and then you put it together. But I'm going to put some plastic putty here too. And then we simply have to wait for it all to dry. Okay, so I don't think the plastic putty is meant to work with something like this. So I ended up having to sculpt it with some milliput. I just filled in all the holes and this little seam here. And now we're going to prime it with white, and then we're going to coat it with some nice silver. So here is Hornet completed, and in her simplicity, I think she turned out really, really nice. A recap of things that I've done. The head is from this minifigure here. Originally it just sat on like this, but I had to drill a hole and stuff to attach it to this body. And then if we remove the cloak made by Rebel Tank Customs. This is what she looks like underneath. The articulation here is heavily modified, so she has really good range of motion now. If you have the Jubilee body from X-Men 97, you probably already know that this torso crunch is completely useless, but now it's really, really good. And then her legs, you see I've hollowed out the hips quite a lot, so she can do a lot higher kicks and also move her legs back further for this pose here, which she usually has in the game. So without the cloak, it would look something like this. But obviously, as bad as this looks here, she's supposed to have the cloak on, and it goes on just like that. And you give it like a little pull, and then you grab the head, put it down here, and boom, ta-da! Furthermore, it's wired, so you can have a little bit of leeway with how you want to pose it, but for the most part, I'm like a vanilla poser, so I'm just gonna keep her like this for the most part. And then her needle is painted with some metallic, just silver, and it slips into her hand really easily because this metallic paint is really durable and doesn't rub off or anything like that. So yeah, Hornet. Simple little custom, but I think the result turned out really good. So thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed.
Fantastima. Da, finestra. Hironare. Yanara. Mio fene. Shaw!